now, I think we don't need to doubt them. In as much as we do our own part, I'm sure they will also fulfill their own works.
Moving on to Kaduna State, the Chief Magistrate's Court has ordered an unemployed man, Vincent Danladi, to sweep the court premises for 3 weeks for stealing 1 carton of floor tiles and other items worth 130,000 naira. The police had earlier charged Danladi of Ongwan Pama in Kaduna with theft. Delivering the ruling, Magistrate Ibrahim Emmanuel stated that the court considered the fact that Danladi was a first-time offender. He ordered the convict to report to the court for 3 weeks to sweep the premises after he pleaded guilty to the offense, with no option of a fine. Earlier, the prosecutor, Inspector Chidi Liu, told the court that the defendant and 2 others at large on November 9 stole a carton of 3x3 floor tiles from a house under renovation in Sabon Tasha, Kaduna. Liu said the defendant and his accomplices also stole 1 bucket of paint and 1 carton of wall tiles, all valued at 130,000 naira. He added that the defendant was arrested and the items were recovered from him during the course of the investigation. The offense, he said, contravened the Penal Code of Kaduna State 2017. In Zamfara State, the police command has arrested a notorious regional gun runner who is a local gun manufacturer alongside several suspected bandits during the series of coordinated operations. The State Police Commissioner Mohammed Danlajin said this knowing during a press briefing held at the command's headquarters in Gusau. Danlajin hailed the officers and men of the State Police Command for their relentless efforts in tackling criminal activities across the state. He said a notorious regional gun runner was arrested while transporting a cache of arms and ammunition intended for delivering to bandit camps operating in the region. The command reiterated its commitment to ensuring peace and stability in the region, urging citizens to Moving on to Borno State, BU and Chani local government areas in Borno State have made the list of 130 local government areas in Nigeria declared open defecation free. This came when the state authorities, in the collaboration with UNICEF and other development partners, launched the Borno State Open Defecation Free Roadmap and flagged off campaign for open defecation free in the state. UNICEF country representative in Nigeria, Christian Munduete, who commended the Borno State government for its collaboration in the campaign against open defecation, noted that BU and Shani had already achieved ODF status last year. She assured the government of UNICEF's support in ensuring that Borno State becomes open defecation free. Governor Babagana Zulum, represented by his deputy, emphasized the importance of sanitation in improving people's well-being and called for a collective effort to change the wash conditions of the people. He urged relevant government agencies to focus on achieving safe water and sanitation options for all households, as well as the implementation of sustainable wash access in schools and public places. Borno State Commissioner for Water Resources, Engineer Tijani Goni Alkali, stressed the importance of sanitation and clean water as a fundamental human right that should be guaranteed to all citizens. On our next story, Defense Headquarters has confirmed that Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists ambushed troops conducting stabilization operations in the Gubbio local government area of Borno State, leading to a heavy gunfight. In the aftermath of the attack, 5 soldiers were killed, 10 were wounded, and 4 others were reported missing. However, over 30 terrorists were killed, with several others escaping with wound bullets. Major General Edward Buba, Director of Defense Media Operations, disclosed the details in a statement noting the recovery of weapons and the destruction of terrorist equipment. Sources revealed that the terrorists launched multiple assaults in an attempt to overrun a special military force stationed in Kareto, a community in Gubbio local government area. The source further explained that the special forces had recently arrived in Kareto and were preparing to facilitate the return of displaced villagers by constructing trenches when the insurgents launched their assault. The defense headquarters continue to monitor the situation and is reinforcing efforts to combat terrorists. Still in Borno State, Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps has apprehended 27 suspects involved in various crimes, including scrap metal theft, land fraud, and vandalism. The state commandant Harun Abdulrazak disclosed this while parading the suspects in Maiduguri who were arrested in different parts of the state capital. Abdulrazak said on November 15, the Corps arrested 3 suspected metal thieves along Maiduguri, the Maturu Road, in a vehicle loaded with scrap metals. He also said personnel intercepted suspected cattle rustlers along the Njimitolo Damaturu Road and recovered 2 stolen cattle in Golf wagon. The commandant said the 4 suspects belonging to a syndicate responsible for multiple cattle thefts were apprehended. The commandant assured the public that all suspects would be charged to court and prosecuted upon the conclusion of investigations. He reiterated the Corps' unwavered commitment to protecting lives and property, adding that the arrests are a testament to its dedication to reducing crime and ensuring the safety of residents across the state. You're watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return after this break. To support the 2024 budget. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, a legal practitioner, Silva Bill Ikari, emphasized that any economy that is heavily dependent on debt is doomed to stagnate. He opined that borrowing money without investing in manufacturing or other productive sector is a recipe for disaster.
Indeed, I tell you the truth. Borrowing being brought to the fore to run an economy is a sign of failure. However, in the circumstance, I will not say. We are not borrowing to invest in agriculture. We are not borrowing to boost manufacturing so that we say, when we borrow this money and invest, we are going to get something. It is more or less we are borrowing to settle debt. That's what it means. That is why I have a problem with it.
Chief Obon Nangoke, former House of Representatives member, stated that while borrowing is necessary for economic growth, transparency and accountability to ensure that borrowed funds yield tangible results.
There is no way you run an economy or run a business without borrowing. But the issue is what do you do with the borrowed money? Okay? United States, China, these are frontline economies that are doing well. But if they tell you the amount of debt too that is associated with their greatness, you will shiver. Okay? So I want to say that, of course, unfortunately for this great country, regardless of all of the resources that we have, we've not been able to do a balanced budget. Our budgets have always been deficit oriented, meaning that you don't have money enough to fund the budget. Therefore, you will need to inject some additional funds. So, well, one thing I've always asked myself is why is it that we chew too much? Why is it that every government wants to do everything at the same time? If Tinubu comes on board and says, gentlemen, Nigerians, I will not do anything other than give you electricity. Make sure you have electricity as a takeoff point in the next 4 years. And he commits himself to giving us electricity. It would be better than you want a little bit of electricity, a little bit of health, a little